Good morning, students. I welcome you all. Myself Baby Rawat, your English teacher. I hope you all are fine and safe along with your family members. Today, I'll discuss the poem Wind, written by Subramania Bharati, who was a famous Tamil poet and writer. This poem, Wind, is actually a symbolic poem. Wind symbolizes hardships, problems, ups and downs of our life. If we are strong enough to face all the problems, all the hardships, then we will flourish. But if we are weak, then we will be scattered. So, poet advises us to be strong enough. So, with this, let's begin. Wind. The wind is a symbol of problems, obstacles, which are to be dealt with without fear, with courage. So, Subramania Bharati, who is the poet, he advises us to be strong in mind and body. The wind will be our friend when we are strong. As already I have told you that wind represents the difficulties, challenges of life. And we should encounter all the challenges, all the difficulties with boldly. Now, this poem inspires us to face all the challenges and hardship with courage, grit, and firm determination. So, we will start now. Wind, come softly. Don't break the shutters of the windows. Don't scatter the papers. Don't throw down the books on the shelf. There, look what you did. You threw them all down. You tore the pages of the books. You brought rain again. So in this poem, poet is addressing wind. So when we will read this full poem, so in it he is addressing. So this poem is an example of personification, because poet is directly calling wind. And what he is saying, wind, come softly. He is asking wind to come softly. Don't break the shutters of the windows. Now shutters means panes, glass. Now he is saying that don't break shutters of the window panes. Don't scatter the papers. Scatter means spread. So don't spread papers. Don't throw down the book on the shelf. Shelf is bookshelf. So he is asking the wind not to throw books down from the bookshelf. There, look what you did. You threw them all down. But wind was strong. So what happens? That everything was down. So now poet is saying, there, what you have done? You have thrown all the books down from bookshelf. You tore the pages of the books, and you have torn pages of the book also. You brought rain again. And not only this, you have brought rain also. So what does wind do here? Wind tears the pages of the books off and throws them down from the bookshelf. And the potent, powerful wind scatters the books and sheets of paper. Where? On the floor. And it disturbs everything. And not only this, but sometimes wind becomes violent and it appears to be a storm. It brings clouds from distant land, and clouds brings rain from the blue sky. You are very clever at poking fun at weaklings. At poking fun means making fun. Weaklings means weak persons. So now poet is saying that you are clever enough to make fun of weak people. frail, crumbling, houses, crumbling, doors, crumbling, rafters, crumbling, wood, crumbling, bodies, crumbling, lives, crumbling, hearts. The wind god winnows and crushes them all. So here, wind is considered as wind god. Pavan Devta. In Hindi, we call Pavan Devta. So now what he is saying, poet, that frail means weak, crumbling means breaking, means weak houses, crumbling doors, crumbling rafters, all breaking houses, breaking doors, breaking rafters, and wood, crumbling bodies. It is used for human being. Crumbling lives, crumbling hearts means weak hearts, those who are weak. The wind god winnows and crushes them all. So winnows means blows, blows grain of chaff. If you have gone to your village and maybe you have seen some people winnowing grain. Like here you can see, I'll show you a picture. In this picture you can see that this lady is winnowing grain, and if you will ask your parents, they will also tell you how the grain is winnowed. So now what poet is saying, that wind god has destroyed, has crushed everything. Now we can understand that in this paragraph, it is clear that the wind symbolizes the raw and brutal power of nature. The wind god is a symbol of might and strength. He hates weaklings. He rather pokes fun at them. He makes fun of weaklings. Be they frail houses, crumbling doors, or crumbling hearts and bodies, he spares none. He befriends only the strong. Now next stanza. He won't do what you tell him. So come, let's build strong homes. Let's join the doors firmly. Practice to form the body. Make the heart steadfast. Do this and the wind will be friends with us. The wind blows out weak fires. He makes strong fires roar and flourish. His friendship is good. We praise him every day. So now in this paragraph, he has given us solution. So what is the solution? Now first line, he won't do what you tell him. He is wind god, and you is used for us, that whatever we will tell, he will not obey. The wind god is all powerful. He is not influenced by any external factors. He doesn't do what we tell him to do. Neither our request nor our commands will influence him. He is mighty and sweeps away all weaklings with him. He loves strength and befriends with strong and steadfast heart. So we people should build, the solution is that we all should build strong houses so that they may not be damaged by the wind. They should be strong enough to endure violent winds and become a challenge to the potent wind. So this is the solution for this. So in this paragraph, in this stanza, we can understand that the poet wants us to realize the true nature and power of the wind, and poet advises us to build strong homes. And he says that the doors must be closed firmly. Weak hearts will never succeed. So let us make our hearts strong and steadfast. The wind god leaves strength and steadfastness. Now last 4 lines. The wind blows out weak fires. He makes strong fires roar and flourish. His friendship is good. We praise him every day. So The last four lines convey the message that those who are not determined and lack confidence face defeat, and those who set their targets and make sincere efforts are not disturbed by any obstacle in life. So the God wind is against any and every shaky and weak thing. Our heart should be fired with determination and strength. Weak fires and weaklings are flown out. Only the strong roar and flourish. His friendship is good, rewarding. Let us praise the wind, the symbol of power and strength. So here we end our poem. Now we will discuss literary devices. So no rhyme scheme is here, and this poem is written in free verse. I hope you all are aware what is rhyme scheme. We see last word of each sentence, each line, and if it rhymes with one another, we give A, B, B or whatever. But this poem is written in free verse. No rhyme scheme is followed. And if we talk about literary devices, so personification is there because that poet is addressing wind. So it is full poem is written in personification. Now first paragraph say this don't. 1, 2, 3. In 3 lines this don't word is repeated. This is anaphora. What is anaphora? When more than two consecutive lines one word is repeated in the beginning, means that line starts with that word. So here we can see thrice. Don't is don't. Thrice is here, so it is anaphora. Apart from this, if you see here the sound is repeated through them. The sound is repeated, so it is repetition. So it is alliteration. It is alliteration. And if we see this crumbling many times, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, so it is repetition. And in second stanza also we will see were, wind, will, with. So were sound is repeated, so it is alliteration. Now again next line also wind, weak. So in one line were sound is repeated, so it is alliteration. Alliteration is what? Repetition of a consonant sound in one line more than 2 words in the beginning. If it is somewhere in the beginning of the word, somewhere in the middle, somewhere in the end, then it is consonants. But here in the beginning, like were sound is wind were, will were, with were, so it is alliteration. Now it's time for homework. Today's homework is 2 long questions I'll give you. Number 1, you have to explore about the author, writer, poet Subramania Bharati. In 100 words, you have to write about the writer. Question number 1. Question number 2 is, what moral lesson do you get from the poem Wind? I repeat my question. What moral lesson do you get from the poem Wind? In 100 words, you have to write answer of this also. So 100 words about writer and 100 words about moral. What moral lesson do you get? And you will write answers in your homework notebook. So with this, I wish you good health, stay healthy, stay safe. Thank you.